All right, night vision mounting options. Over here, I have 3 different systems that represent the 2 most popular interface systems for night vision. I'm going to go through each one of these individually. We'll talk about some of their features and some of their capabilities, and hopefully help you decide which system is right for you and the setup that you are trying to run. All right, so the first system I'm going to talk about is the Norotos interface system. It is a bayonet or a horn system. This one is probably the more ubiquitous of the 3 that I have here for you today, because this is a standard issued item for the United States military for all their monocular devices, such as the PVS-14. So this is something you may have seen before on the internet. Like I said, they can be found all over the place. It's an excellent system. As I mentioned earlier, it uses the horn or bayonet interface. So this is the portion right here where your night vision device would be secured or locked into. This back plate portion right here is the portion that attaches to your helmet. It's a great system. It has good adjustability. I believe there's been 2 or 3 different iterations of this guy. This one particularly is pretty good. It has a few real good features as far as eye relief and adjustability. It uses a force to overcome system, so you kind of have to like pull on it, and that actually deploys the system down to set the night vision over your eye. So as you can see, this portion right here would be attached to your helmet. Your night vision will then be on the lower plane right here, as such. All right, and again, it is a force to overcome, so there's no buttons or switches. You just kind of have to force it, and then it clicks up to stow the night vision system, or it'll click down in order to deploy the night vision system so that you can start using it. It is a very sturdy system. Norotos is known for their quality and sturdy systems. It also has multiple adjustment points. On the base here, it has an adjustment lever that allows you to elevate or drop the night vision system. Let me see if I can show it to the camera better there. It allows you to elevate or drop the setting for the night vision system, and then simply lock this lever back, and now you're set in right there. While we're talking about the base, there is a locking mechanism. As you can see here, it is a button. You essentially push this button and it will release this small locking mechanism here. Will allow you to quickly remove the mount from the helmet system that it is mounted to. Once you release it again, this little guy pops back out again, and now it is safe and secured. On the subject of adjustability, there is also an adjustable lever here that'll help adjust the angle of the night vision system, right, to fit your face and your proper eye relief. And then finally, the third adjustment system is right here on the actual interface portion. Once you release this lever, it loosens this up so that you can now adjust. Here, this will probably be a better angle right here. So now you can adjust the eye relief. In other words, bring the night vision system closer to your eye or further from your eye. And once you have it at a comfortable distance, you can return to this lever and simply lock it back into position, and there it will stay. So essentially a 3-point adjustment system, 1, 2, and 3 over here. An easy stow option. Like I said, force to overcome. It is in the stowed position. Now you force it down, it clicks, and it is now in the deployed position. Very simple. This little guy, I think price-wise, you can find them on the internet for somewhere around the $200 range, maybe even less if you search Google for some of the surplus stuff or some of the other surplus websites. Like I said, very ubiquitous all over the place, very easy to find parts for if you need to replace them yourself, or simply honestly just purchase a new one. Not a hard object to find. Good things about it, like I said, price is right. The quality is very high with this system, and good solid 3 points of adjustability. So the only downfall with this particular system is the way it stows. Once it's stowed, so it's essentially flipped up, right? There is a very high profile here. Your night vision system would sit on top of this guy right here, and it is a very high profile on the helmet. Let me see if I can give you an example. So that would be really the biggest issue with this particular system. Let's see if I can give you an example here on a helmet. All right, so here you see it on my OpsCore bump helmet, and it is currently in the deployed position. Now, we were talking about the high profile once it goes to the stowed position. So once I give this guy a pull up here and I go to the stowed position, you can see here that my night vision device would be resting essentially on top of my helmet, right? Creating kind of a taller profile that could become an issue when we're talking about entering or exiting vehicles or clearing low spaces or anything else like that. So that is really the only downfall of this design. But as far as the mount system itself, very solid, very good option. And like I said, you can find it for around the $200, maybe even sub $200 mark if you search around the internet. So again, this is the Norotos horn or bayonet system. All right, so the next mounting option I want to talk about is the Wilcox G11 helmet mount, all right, or night vision mount. The Wilcox G11 mount is also a horn or bayonet mount, so that would make this guy a second option to the Norotos that we spoke about a second ago, all right? The difference, or the main difference, and there's a couple, but the main difference about this guy, as you can tell, is that it is currently in the stowed position, and in its stowed position, it maintains a much lower profile than the Noroto standard issue system, right? So that is one giant plus already before we even talk about any features of the Wilcox G11 mount, right? The Wilcox G11 mount also has a multi-point adjustment system. It is also a force to overcome deployment system, which means you're going to go ahead and snap it down. And once it is snapped down, it is deployed. As you can tell, your night vision system would be engaged right over here. So you would be looking at your probably monocular system right down here. And it is safe and secured once it is deployed. When you're ready to move it back to the stowed position, just kind of have to push on it. You'll feel it click out of position and click right back into the stowed position. As far as the interface with the helmet section, this one's a little bit different. Rather than it being a button system with a spring-loaded mechanism, this one is kind of a slider, right? So you slide it out. It is now in the open position, so you can place it in or remove it from the helmet mounting position. You slide it in and you can hear that click for security right there, and it is locked in place, and there is nothing that's going to move it unless you apply considerable force to open it back up again. So I personally prefer this system as opposed to the spring-loaded system and some of the other mounts just for security. Now, as far as adjustability, you'll notice that this system is very similar to the one we're going to talk about next, if you guys are familiar with the Wilcox G24 mount. So if you are familiar with that one, you're going to find yourselves right at home with this guy. The G11 mount also has a adjustability right here. Let's go ahead and set this to the deploy position. Has adjustability right here, so you can set the angle at which you want your night vision to be. All right. It also has adjustability of this back plate right here with this lever. This is a release lever that you can just flip to the left here. Now it is loose, and you can adjust the height, the vertical height of your night vision system. As you can see here, here we go. Okay. And then flip the lever back whenever you are satisfied and it is locked in place. And then lastly, it has the eye relief system similar to the G24 that we're going to talk about here shortly, where you just depress these two buttons right here and you can move the night vision system further away from your eye system or closer to your eyeballs to help with the eye relief and the proper fitment of the night vision system. One good thing, as I spoke earlier, the Noroto is very high quality, but I got to tell you, once you start messing with these genuine Wilcox mounts, you just start to realize they're just so sturdy. They have very little to no play, okay, which may not seem like a very big deal, but once you're wearing your night vision systems for an extended period of time, you're going to realize that any little play could start to wear on you, or any systems that don't necessarily lock you right into place could start to mess with your eye relief, and then you're going to have to go back and make adjustments ever so often. That's something that Wilcox is really good about reducing. I don't say eliminating, because eliminating is practically impossible when you're running around, especially with your night vision system, but they're very good at reducing it to almost zero. Once again, this is also a bayonet or horn interface. This guy, online, if you search around TNVC or some of the other websites, you're looking at around 300 and something. I'd say around $340, $350. So a little more costly. Okay, what you're getting with that is obviously the Wilcox build quality, and then the patented Wilcox design that allows you to store your night vision system in a completely different configuration, which is a lot lower profile. All right, good for your PVS 14s or any other monocular type systems that use a bayonet or horn system. And overall, excellent option if that is what you are in the market for. All right, and the last system I want to show you is the Wilcox G24 mount. All right, this is another ubiquitous system because this is a dovetail system. So the last two that we talked about were bayonet or horn interfaces, primarily found in your monocular night vision systems. This guy is a dovetail interface system, primarily found in your dual tube systems. However, there are adapters for some of the monocular devices to also run dovetail systems. So don't necessarily discount it because this is a dovetail system. As you can tell, the general design of this guy is very similar to the G11 that we just discussed a few minutes ago. All right. However, being a dovetail system, there's a difference in the interface up here, of course. And Wilcox has added some additional features to this guy. All right, this is a standard issue system for special operations units all across the military. And you can find it, if you're looking to purchase one, probably closer to the $480 to $500 mark, depending on where you purchase it from. But what you get with it is a whole host of fantastic features. Difference with the deployment system here is that this is not a force to overcome. It actually has a push button, a spring-loaded push button. So you can pull on it all you want. The system is not going to deploy accidentally. You need to push this button. And once you do, then the system glides to a locking position where it is now deployed. All right. So push the button again, and the system is now clicked onto its stowed position. And as you can tell, once it's clicked onto either position, it is a very, very solid connection with very little to no play, as is standard with most Wilcox type mounts. All right. Another feature that this one has that the other mounts we talked about does not have is the breakaway feature. Okay. It has a lever here that will activate that breakaway system. All right. It is able to break away from the helmet mounting system should considerable force be applied to it. Now, why would you need something like this? Well, I'll tell you, if you're caught on something, all right, it is much better to have this guy break away, right, from your helmet than snap your neck and possibly injure you or possibly even kill you. So this is a feature that is exclusive to the G24 or the G24 family, which is fantastic. It is activated here through this lever. As far as the mounting or securing system for the helmet mount, it is the same as the G11 that I showed you before. There is a sliding button here. Apply considerable force to either side, and it is either locked or in its unlocked position right here. Fantastic system. I have yet to see it fail, even though I have put this guy through a whole lot of stress. So a wonderful system. And adjustment points, right? So the same standard adjustment point that we talked about earlier with the G11 mount with the lever system right here, where you can go ahead and release the lever system, and now you are free to adjust your night vision system vertically up or down. Once you are good to go, you can go ahead and lock it back up, and you're good there. As far as the angle, there is a lever right here which allows you to adjust the angle of the night vision system. This lever, once you let it go, it locks into place. And again, no play there. And then lastly, you have your eye relief buttons right here. You've got to depress both of them on the side, and you can slide this guy up or slide it further away from your eye until you find the proper eye relief. It is a fantastic system to get if you are looking at a dovetail system. It is not the only dovetail system out in the market, but again, this is something that I run, and it's a wonderful system. We talked about price earlier, but I'll say it again. Expect to pay somewhere around the $480 to $500 mark for this guy. There are a lot of options where you can buy this guy as a package deal. So it'll be this guy along with a Wilcox helmet mount if you're looking for that combination. And that'll probably run you a little bit north of the $500 mark. But this is a great system. This is the Wilcox G24 helmet mounting system. And again, this is the dovetail interface. So these are the three systems that I wanted to talk to you guys about very briefly. They are by far not the only three systems that are available on the market, right? But they are some of the more popular and some of the more useful systems that I have found to be out there. If you're looking for a bayonet style or a horn style mounting interface, either the Norotos or this Wilcox G11 is going to be something that you might want to explore. And then if you're looking for a dovetail, like this is the gold standard right here, the Wilcox G24. I will put a link in the description below to each one of these items if you guys want to look at some of the spec sheets and then maybe do some research yourself on it. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below, and I will do my best to answer them as best as I can. Thanks again for watching the video, guys. Like, subscribe, that whole deal, and I'll be back with more content for you as soon as I can. Thank you.